Crazy kids, it's Monday, July 30th, 2018. You're watching the Daily Mix TV by Hill Story Marketing. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I hope you guys had a great weekend. It was absolutely stunning in New York City. Today is going to be beautiful. I love time periods like this. You know why? As a marketer, and frankly as a business person, I like sitting out in the street or, out of the entrance to Central Park and watching people walk around. I'll go into the Time Warner Center and watch people decide on product and those kinds of things. People watching is a great tool for a marketer and a business person in general. You always want to keep your eye on what's going on with consumer mindset, why they're deciding to purchase a product. Is it the packaging that's attracting them? Is it a shelf talker? What's driving that purchase decision? It's incredibly important and something I suggest you do at least once a week. Now on to the news. According to a report from Reuters, it looks like mass market retailer Walmart is ending its last mile employee delivery program. The last mile refers to the final leg of delivery of a product to your home or office. And Walmart was using its employees to deliver online orders after their regular shifts. It was a pilot which took place in New Jersey and Arkansas, and it ended back in January, so we're only finding out about this now. The retailer, though, is now testing staff delivery in just one Georgia store with 4 employees. Now, allegedly, Walmart's e-commerce chief Mark Lohr flagged the idea of utilizing Walmart's massive workforce to deliver goods. That could help the chain fend off competition from Amazon. Remember, these two, Walmart, the retailer, and Amazon, the e-tailer, have been in a battle, a war, really, for the last couple of years. Personally, I think this program made a lot of sense, and I really hope it isn't over. As a matter of fact, I don't think it is. Given the immense amount of Walmart employees in this country and how they could dominate in local markets across the nation, that's how they can win the war. But if they pull this program, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Utilizing local talent, utilizing local economies, and supporting those local economies is what's going to give Walmart that leg up over Amazon. But then again, only time will tell. Remember, folks, there's only one company in this country that's worth more money than Amazon right now, and that's Apple. But Walmart isn't in a war with them. They are, in fact, in a war with Jeff Bezos. So hopefully Walmart rolls this out because, quite frankly, I love watching the competition and seeing them try and outdo each other. Mission Impossible Fallout opened with a new high for the franchise, bringing in an estimated $61.5 million in box office receipts in the U.S. and Canada. The last Mission Impossible film, which came out in 2015, Rogue Nation, earned $55.5 million in its opening weekend. You guys know I don't like reboots or reimagining of anything like this, but I will say, in Tom Cruise and the studio's defense, they've done a fantastic job in staying true to the original DNA of what Mission Impossible was as a TV series. Now, they also have continued to evolve the franchise, which is why it continues to grow. So, great job to the studio, great job to Tom Cruise. This also brings some other interesting news to the forefront. The North American box office is up almost 8% so far from last year, and this summer is up just over 10%. But that's the good news, but here's where the shoe drops. I wouldn't look for that trend to continue too much longer. We're headed into the dog days of summer where, you'll get a lot of matinee receipts and things like that. But there's a very meager fall release schedule ahead of a somewhat packed holiday. So that usually doesn't spell good news for Tinseltown, let alone the theater owners. So, holiday is looking up with releases like Aquaman, Creed 2, Bumblebee from the Transformers franchise, and Robin Hood. But again, that fall season is going to drag down those averages and bring those percentages to a much more meager position. So I really do hope that things work out, especially for Aquaman and Creed 2 and Bumblebee. I'm really looking forward to seeing those. Oh boy, these guys just can't get this right, and their own ego are making these decisions. It's just crazy. Amid declining sales of its Frappuccinos, Starbucks said it will shift its focus to other cold drinks. Now, sales of the frothy frozen coffee drinks have accounted for roughly 11% of revenue. So the company is hoping to recoup some of that with sales of nitro cold brew draft coffee, fruity refreshers, iced tea, and cold brew coffee. Iced drinks made up more than 50% of Starbucks' business compared with 37% about 5 years ago. Now here's my issue on this. Starbucks sees the same data that we do, and way more. So high-priced coffee is trending down right now. So why on God's green earth would you double down on this? It doesn't make any sense. As an example, one of the many reasons why Frappuccino sales are declining is because they're way too fattening, they're loaded with every calorie you don't want to have, and they've raised the prices several times over the last few years. So people just don't want to spend that kind of money, become fat because they're spending that kind of money on a nasty, sugary drink, and on top of it, you're in a cafe next to a lot of smelly homeless people because they've now just opened up their doors to everybody. Look, folks, it's time for Starbucks to consider a middle-of-the-road approach and start listening to sage advice from their research department. Consumer studies are very clear. This is not a good trend for Starbucks to be on. So hopefully they get their act together, although, as we all know, I no longer drink Starbucks. Do you remember this scene?
Is that a,
Drake's coffee cake.
Wow. Where did you get that?
On my house. I got a whole box of them.
Boy, that's the full size.
That's your big boy.
Can I have a bite?
I don't give out bites. I got another one, but I'm saving it for later.
Just one bite?
I don't think so. You know, they're so fragile.
All right. All right. I won't say anything.
You swear?
I swear.
On your mother's life.
On my mother's life.
Well, it looks like Drake's coffee cakes are back. The Collegedale, Tennessee-based company, which is part of the McKee Foods brand portfolio, announced that the snack, first introduced in 1930 in the Depression, would be making its return to store shelves. Quote, using the classic Drake's recipe, McKee Foods is now baking coffee cakes. Coffee cakes are now individually wrapped, which is a frequent request from moms, according to Chip Stenberg, Drake's associate brand manager. Now, Drake's Cinnamon Streusel coffee cakes are certified kosher by the Orthodox Union and are now available for purchase virtually everywhere throughout the eastern United States. You can find your nearest retailer at drakescake.com. You know, it's cakes like this. It's, you know, we talked about Chipwich earlier in the summer, and I need to follow up with those guys just to see how their sales are going, because from what I hear, they're doing very well. But when you look at classic foods and snack foods, those kinds of things that bring up wonderful childhood memories, like a Drake's cake as an example, you can really, really capitalize on that and increase your revenues, certainly your profit margins. But you got to make sure that you're keeping within the confines of your brand DNA. Otherwise, you might lose the very customers that have made your business. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the CEO of Hill Story Marketing. I'm also the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow on Tuesday.